everyone and welcome to my library. If you're new here, hi, my name is Chinsia, and if you're not new here and you're one of my lovely regulars, hi, how are you? I hope you're doing fabulously. So today we're going to be talking about no buy year. We're following the years-long tradition of doing a no buy year update, and then obviously I'll do another video on what I'm planning on doing for next year's no buy year. If I'm continuing it at all, ooh, I kind of gave away the surprise, aren't I? But we're going to be talking about how my third year of no buy went. If you are brand spanking new to my channel and you have no idea what I'm talking about, you found no buy year, however, I have an entire playlist going right to the beginning 3 years ago about what a no buy is, what my rules were, etc. So today is just an update video on how the end of my third year no buy year went and how I'm feeling, and then I'm going to save all my future plans for another video later in Vlogmas, so stay tuned to make sure you're subscribed for that. But for the end of my no buy year, year 3, this was much harder than any of the other years gone by, but that's entirely down to my financial and personal circumstances, which I expected to happen. So hey ho, life happens, let's dig into it. So the first 2 years of no buy were so incredibly successful that I managed to save up for my entirety of my PhD on minimum wage. So the fact that I did that in my first 2 years just meant the world to me, and also I have savings at the end of it. However, the third year of no buy has been exceptionally difficult, but I have zero regrets for anything that happened. It's just as it is. Just there are some years where you're financially better off than you are others, and that's just the nature of life, particularly when you're a freelancer like me. So at the beginning of the year, I decided to end my long-term relationship, and I knew going into making that decision that that would have an impact on my finances. You know, when someone moves out, everything doubles. You know, everything that you shared doubles, and your time doesn't. Report goes, your expenses double, your income does not double, and your time to spend on just everything doesn't double. So becoming a one-man band was a bit of a transition period for me. Just primarily because of just figuring things out, what I can afford, what I can't afford, etc. And also, for some weird reason, the world has decided, you know what, let's throw a few, you know, curveballs at her way. At the beginning of the year, in the span of I think just 2 to 3 months, 3 of my most expensive electrical items that I rely on for business broke. My laptop broke entirely, and it was out of warranty, and no one knew why it broke. It just stopped working one day. Apparently that was something to do with the model. I had to get a new laptop. My iPad broke, which I also rely on a lot, particularly for studies now especially, and that broke just as I got my PhD offer. I was like, oh, fantastic, thank you for doing that. And then my mobile phone broke entirely as well. And I had that one from a second-hand place, so it wasn't under like an extended warranty or anything like that. So the 3 most like expensive electrical items that could possibly break in my life all decided to break, and I'm like, genius. So that just like rinsed out my savings. Aside from the beginning of the year when it went a bit rocky and I was adjusting, and there were a couple of months where I didn't earn anything and it was just a little bit sketchy when it comes to, you know, 2021 has been hard. It was strange how, you know, 2020 had a bit of a knock-on effect, but the 2021 I found harder financially speaking. Maybe I just got lucky in 2020. But it was just a big knock-on effect when it comes to freelancing and where companies can spend their money, etc. like that. So it has been like more of a financially difficult year. What I have learned from this year is, however, that I enjoy spending my money on other people. So I've increased my money spending on other people, but for more meaningful things, so not like gifts. And my prime example is I was planning on going away for my 30th birthday. I really wanted to go to Greece. It's been over a decade since I've gone on holiday. I thought it'd be nice, and as a freelancer, I don't get holiday, I don't get sick pay, so I would have to take, you know, time off unpaid and all that jazz, but I was willing to do it, and I'd saved up some money for a trip to Greece. I really want to see Athens, I've never seen it. But obviously COVID happened, and I just didn't want to take the risk of, you know, all the rules, all the stresses, and not being exactly how I would like to experience going abroad and all that jazz. So I decided not to, but with that money I decided to throw myself a 30th birthday party, and effectively I just put a load of money into having a party for other people, like buying them like food and alcohol and just a space and a venue, and it was a really wonderful like night together with my closest friends here in Edinburgh. We had a 1920s murder mystery night which I organised, and I did like a 3-course meal. We had like desserts, and it was just wonderful. It was a really nice way to spend that money, and if anything, because I've never hosted anything before in my life, you know, I live in a flat where I don't even have like a dining table. I can't host people here. It kind of opened my eyes to like, oh, I really enjoyed doing that. And, you know, whilst it costs like the entirety of a trip to Greece to throw that kind of party for 10 people, at the same time, I was like, I really, that you can't really buy that experience. Like we could have gone to, you know, a cafe, you know, restaurant for the evening or something like that. But the fact that I'll always remember as my 30th birthday party, which was just a really wonderful time with lots of people in a chill environment that, you know, it was just, and that they enjoyed themselves. Like everyone came away saying they had like an amazing night, that they really loved spending time and meeting each other, and they really enjoyed the event itself. I just felt, okay, that was worth it. That was a really wonderful, you know, thing to do. And will I be throwing birthday parties every year? No, I can't afford to do that. But the idea of spending money in a way where other people benefit from it, in my closed facility that isn't present giving in some kind, like if I can have friends around for like drinks and like a little meal that we sit on the floor and eat together, that would be wonderful. So I would love to spend my money in more that direction next year. Aside from, you know, the basics of like things breaking down, becoming a solo person again and having to spend everything, you know, by myself, and then having to, you know, struggle a bit at the beginning of the year trying to get work and then trying to settle down in it and then starting a PhD again. Yeah, it was a financially messy year, but primarily out of my control. Like primarily it was just because life happened, and, you know, my savings are nowhere near as, you know, as high as they had been in, you know, the 2 years prior, but they're not obliterated. Like, you know, I didn't save much, but I also didn't destroy my savings, if that makes sense. So I didn't eat into my savings, I just didn't save much more than that. I've kind of kept an equilibrium in the end of the third year. And that in itself, I'm going to say, is an accomplishment considering how much has changed in the past 12 months for me, like professionally and personally and all that jazz. So I think I've done a win with Novi year 3, but I would like to go hardcore again and try and repeat the success of years 1 and 2 in my 4th year of Novi. I'm sure people would be wondering, you know, do you miss going shopping and all that jazz? It's strange. There are things that I'd love to invest in, and I enjoy investing in, but I just enjoyed the process of selling things and trying to then reuse that money some way. So if I really, really want something in my life, like a plant, I'd rather resell some stuff and get some money back and then just do a swap, like so exchange one space in my home for another space in my home. But again, I'm at the end of year 3 and I don't miss clothes shopping. I don't miss going around. I don't know, what did I do? I mean, I still go to bookshops, obviously, for gift shopping all the time. But I feel like I'm always like book shopping in some way in my own home. Like I just look around, I'm like, yes, look at the books that I own. So that I don't miss either. And also my friends have been very kind this month and they've given me, you know, book tokens for my birthday. And a friend gave me another book token just yesterday when I saw her for my birthday, which I'm like, ooh, more book. So I've just been like spending other people's like gift tokens and stuff like that when, you know, when I get given them. But I love gift shopping and I really enjoy Christmas shopping for people, but I'm not doing it anymore. I can't see myself going back to that way of being where, you know, I would spend hours on like browsing around. And also, if anything, my environmentalist consciousness has been elevated significantly over the past 12 months. So I already, you know, I do the basics. I do the basics of like, you know, I'm vegan, I've been vegan since 2014, I don't buy any new things, I only buy secondhand things when I do buy things, you know, things like that, like particularly even with gifts, or if I do buy new things for people, I've shopped locally, so I've gone to like local little independent businesses and bought all my Christmas presents from them. I only support local shops now, or independent artists online. I would say, like, I've also bought things for people from Etsy, from an independent shop, but also only in the UK or locally, etc. So when I've shopped, I shop very consciously. But when we go beyond saving money, when we look at how people are spending money and what impact that's having on the environment, I'm getting just increasingly more anxious that people, it's not even about money concerns anymore. It's not about like not treasuring what you own or investing in something more high quality that will last a longer time. But if we look at examples like Shein, Shein produces 6,000 garments a day. And they have workers that work 75 hours a week but only earn £800 a month, if that. and most of that goes to landfill. Most of it's cheaply made, most of it's just wasteful nothingness of like tacky, trashy, fast fashion, and that I think is accepting more. You know, if anything, I could never not do another, like I can't go back to not doing no buy years when I look at the state of the environment. I don't think there's anything else I can talk about. I hope you're having a lovely Christmas or Vlogmas thus far. Thank you for joining me. If you're joining me, I'm doing a video every day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow for another video. And remember, books save lives, so keep reading.